Hello, Datum Nation. Are you ready to learn how to build machine learning solutions in the AWS cloud? If you're new to this channel, I'm Dr. Kev of Datum-Based. I'm a machine learning expert with more than 12 years experience building machine learning solutions and using the AWS cloud. I'm passionate about teaching you how to build machine learning solutions in the AWS cloud too. In this video, I teach you the foundation of how to set up a development environment for creating machine learning solutions in the AWS cloud. In previous videos, I talked about how I use VS Code locally, and I really like that IDE for developing. However, in thinking more about this class, I've decided to move forward just using Cloud9. I think it's much faster for you guys to get ramped up. And then as we move into further videos, if you want to try to switch over to VS Code, because you'd have to install it, also deal with installing Docker locally, feel free to do that if you really like that IDE. But I don't really want to spend the time doing that. I really want to get straight into building. If you like this content, please subscribe. That way you'll be notified as I release new videos in this series. Let's stop consuming and start creating. Cue the music. We're going to create our first Cloud9 environment in this video. We're going to talk about the different collaboration tools that we have, the fact that it has a debugger, and we're also going to just try creating a quick serverless application to make sure that the toolkit, the AWS toolkit that we needed, is accessible in Cloud9, which it definitely is. So to get started with Cloud9, I'm going to need you to log into your AWS account using your username credentials that we developed in the last video. Once you get into the management console, in the search field, type in Cloud9, all one word. This will take you over to the screen for creating a cloud environment for development. Click Create Environment. As we scroll down through the options, watch my little video to see what I select. But really what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to stay in the free tier by using an EC2 instance. We don't want SSH in, we want to use the GUI. And then as you scroll down, you can see that a role is already created that is linked to our credentials. So as we spin things up, it allows us to do what we need to do. I also open up and see what VPC it's ramping up in. You can control this. However, I'm just letting it be in the default. We can talk about VPC later. If you don't understand at this point, don't worry about it. The default will be fine for your needs. And then finally, in Cloud9, when we open this up in our browser, it keeps the EC2 instance alive. The moment we close the browser, what this dropdown is telling us is that the EC2 instance will stay alive for 30 minutes after we close it, and then it'll shut down to save us money and time. This is still in the free tier, but we still want to do this. So you can change this to never, you can change it to hours. I prefer to do the 30 minutes so that we minimize cost. Go ahead and move forward and hit create, and then it'll bring you to the intro screen, which takes a few minutes to ramp up the cloud environment. Okay, now the Cloud9 environment is ready. This is just like any other IDE. You can go in, you can scroll through the documents, you can open READMEs, you can change the color schemes. So over on the left is what our file browser looks like. The right is where we edit, and the bottom is where the terminal is. If you look over on the far right, you can see that we can share. So this is where if you have another user in your account and you guys wanted to peer program together, then you could add that user to this specific environment and you guys could work in the same thing together, which is absolutely fantastic. Over on the right, you can also see what services this is ramping up. This is very, very helpful when we get into later stages of these videos. And finally, there's a debug mode. So you can actually put stops into different Lambda functions and see what's happening. We're not going to do it in this video, but know it's there because we will touch on this in later videos. Finally, what I'm going to want you to do is just to make sure that you understand what Cloud9 is and that it's all set up, I'm going to want you to try to use the SAM, the Serverless Application Model. If you're unfamiliar with serverless, there are a bunch of videos online about it, but I think it's absolutely fantastic because we have much less to maintain then. And as a single person that's building applications, I want as minimal work on that, and I want to focus on the actual product as much as possible. So serverless is the way to go. And so SAM is what they call it, and SAM has a few commands so you can quickly get started. And so if you navigate over to the SAM page and you scroll down in the documents to a specific command line, you can set up SAM init, and this allows you to create a very simple hello world example. So what I'm going to have you do right now is copy and paste this in your terminal and just make sure that it actually creates the way that it should create in our IDE, and we're ready to start building in the next video. Please hit subscribe if you like this content and you want to be notified as I release new videos in this series. In the next video, we're going to build our first serverless application using Hello World from SAM. I'm going to walk you through what the various pieces are. We can talk a little bit about Lambda functions, API gateway, and we'll talk a little bit about the templates that we're going to be using for our code as infrastructure as code. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.